Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm gonna be giving you the final episode of What If Kurama gave Naruto a dojutsu. I hope you enjoyed this series. I hope you enjoy all of the 55 episodes of this series. And thank you all for following me on this journey. And go ahead and comment down below and tell me what you think of this series and if you enjoyed it. So yeah, go ahead and check out a new episode of What If Tsunade Was Naruto's Mother that I posted earlier and enjoy. And over on Anime King 2 tonight, I'm gonna be posting What If Naruto had 9 Genkai, and also What If Naruto had the Sharingan and the Byakugan mix. So stay in tune for those and enjoy guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, what exactly are you waiting for? And you enjoy the videos, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and join Anime King and Anime King 2 and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you all for your help and your support. And go ahead and comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying and talking back to all of you. So without further ado, let's get straight into the final episode. So, to begin this episode, a recap. The last time we left off, Sato Soranzo explained to Toby, the masked man, that his mother was the one who created these swords for his brothers, but he didn't get a sword. And he realized after a while that he could take the powers of the sword and add it onto his, as he explained his whole life to Toby. After retrieving the Earth Sword, Sato was able to break out of Toby's genjutsu, as Sato was able to overpower them in seconds, wiping out all of the members of the Akatsuki. None of them was a match for him. He also took Nagato's eyes and swallowed them, adding them onto his own power. Sato then sensed his swords, as he dashed forward to the leaf. Back at Konoha, Naruto was still facing off against Kobayashi, as the battle was hectic until Sato arrived, with everyone outside wondering what the hell was going on. Kobayashi tried to rush towards Sato and saying that he is interrupting his fight. Sato quickly killed Kobayashi within seconds, as Sato then attacked Naruto. Before Naruto could even do anything, Sato grabbed him, as Sato grabbed Naruto by the face, as Naruto started screaming pain and agony. When Sato was finished, Naruto's eye sockets were burned out as Naruto fell to the ground. As Sato then got all of his swords, as he felt the power coursing through his body, as he returned back to his original form. It was then that his mother and his brother showed up, as they did a sealing jutsu to seal Sato, as he would be frozen like this for 5 years, but nothing can break it. The figures then took away Naruto, as the mother left one person behind, Michael, to explain everything to them and tell them what is coming. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can check across the playlist and check it out for yourself. So let's begin this new episode. We start this with Naruto, as Naruto woke up to see nothing but darkness. As he quickly remembered what happened, as Naruto started to scream as he looked around. Nothing, he couldn't see anything but pure darkness. Sato had burned out his eyes. "Be still, my child," said a voice. Who is that?" said Naruto, as he then heard footsteps walking over to him, as he felt something grab him, as Naruto couldn't move, as he felt his body being engulfed by something. He then started to feel his eyes moving, as he realized that the person is healing him. After a few seconds, Naruto snapped his eyes open, as he could see he was in a white void. As Naruto looked around, it was nothing but white. As Naruto felt unsteady, as it was weird to be here, nothing but pure white. As he then saw the woman that healed him. Who are you?" Naruto asked. "My name is Amara," she said. "My son is the one that's been giving you a lot of trouble and did this to you." "Your son? Wait, that guy, that Kurama told me about, Sato. Is he the one? Yes, said Amara. Sato has gotten all of the swords, and right now, no human being can defeat him. That is why I brought you here. That is why you brought me here? I don't understand, said Naruto. I must give you the light and show you how to use my power. The light? What is that? Naruto asks. You know those swords are power of nature, right? Said Amara. Yeah. They allow me to control wind, fire, water and lightning, yes. But you didn't have the earth sword. Well, it seems like Sato gained possession of the earth sword and he drew on its power. Even with one of them, Sato could kill any humans around him, but not with all of them. I am afraid that he's too powerful. No one can stop him. What? I have to try. Let me out of here so I can... No. At this moment, he won't be able to do anyone anything. How do you know that? Naruto asks. Me and my sons place a sealing barrier on him, and he will be stuck like that for 5 years. 5 years? Then what am I to do? Naruto asks. 5 years will be enough time to teach you how to use a light. Meanwhile, my other son Michael is back on Earth. He's informing all of them, all of the people that you call Kage in your world. They all must band together if they're going to defeat Sato. Because if they don't, Sato will turn the world into nothing but ashes. He resents me and his other brothers because we didn't allow him to have his way with the universe like he wanted. The universe? So, are you God? Naruto asks. Well, humans have called me God, yes. So why can't you just stop him? Said Naruto. I am afraid I am no longer able to fight Sato or anyone at that. When Sato realized that we wouldn't allow him to do whatever he wants, he killed us all. He killed you? Yes, that's how powerful he is. When he gains his hand on the swords, he's able to even take me down. You know that's a lie, mother, said a voice. As Naruto turned around to see a male member standing there. Mother couldn't bring herself to kill Sato. That is the only reason why he killed her. Who are you? Naruto asks. I am Noel, and I am here to help you as well. We cannot stop Sato at the moment, but you, Uzumaki Naruto, you have the power. Your body has bonded with the swords. But if Sato has the swords, how am I to get them back and defeat him? That is not a problem, said Amara. Because you, Uzumaki Naruto, I will make you a new sword. Even though I cannot physically fight my son, I can help you in the ways that I can. I will make you a sword that will rival the 5 swords that Sato combined to make one. And me and my sons will teach you how to use a light. Time will pass pretty slowly here. So even though in the normal world it's 5 years, up here it's gonna be more like 15 years, said Amara. Really? It's gonna take that long for me to learn how to use my power? Naruto asks. Yes. It's gonna take that long. Sato is too strong for you to fight him at any weaker notice. So I have to train you and teach you everything, how to control it. And 5 years should be enough for the Earthlings, so they can at least try to hold off Sato until you're fully ready. But you said that Sato is far stronger than them all combined, so he will wipe them out. A few lives are nothing compared to everyone on the earth if Sato was to kill them all. But I can't just allow them all to die. Then we must begin your training now, said Amara, as she held up her hand. I will give you this now. As a white light came from her hand and seeped into Naruto's skin, Naruto fell to the ground as he felt a burning pain. What is this? Naruto cried out. Just be still, young Naruto, she said. It was then that Naruto got up as he felt the power coursing through his veins I know that you are the one that can handle my power. Now let's begin. Come with me. Sons, she said, as her other sons came over. Back on Earth, the five Kages were currently having a Kages meeting as Tsunade has returned, hearing what happened. As Tasumi still wants to know where the hell is Naruto and what is going on. As Michael was in the room, standing in front of a table. What is the meaning of this? Asked the Raikage, as Michael went to all of the villages and teleported them here, without their consent. But the Raikage was kept calm by Michael, who restrained him with invisible chains. We need to talk, said Michael. 5 years. In 5 years' time, if you don't all work together, the world will end. What? Said Mei as she looked over. As currently in the room is Mei and Baki, representing for the San, Tsunade of Konoha, the Raikage and Oniki, as they all were sitting around a table, while Tasumi and Kushina were behind Tsunade, as Michael had gone for the others without letting them bring any guards. What is all of this business? Asked Oniki. Sato Soranzo, said Michael. Just watch, he said, as Michael snapped his finger and a scream appeared in front of them. As they all stood there and watched the world being ripped apart, ripped to pieces. This was before you humans come to be. As Sato was fighting his brother, Michael was there as well. As they were going through the earth like it was nothing, using powers that Shinobi has never seen. Thunderstorm, fire from the sky, blowing up continents like they were nothing. Is this real? Asked Oniki. I am afraid it is, said Michael. As they all stood there quiet, taking in everything. After it was over, they all looked at Michael. So what is the meaning of this? The Raikage said. My brother has returned to his glory form, but for the time being he's frozen, and don't bother try to break him. He's stuck in that form. Nothing on this earth cannot break him. And you guys have 5 years. 5 years to become strong enough to try and hold him off until the true light appears. The true light? Asked Mei as she looked at Michael. What is that? The warrior for this world that my mother picked to face off against Sato. I'm afraid he's the only one, but it will take a long while for him to learn how to master his power completely. But you all right here have to talk to your villages and combine them all to create one united world. And who is this true light? Asked the Raikage. He is the Hokage of this village you call Konoha. His name is Uzumaki Naruto. What? Naruto? Said Mei, as she narrowed her eyes at Tasumi, who had a worried look on her face. So where is Naruto right now? Tasumi asked. He's with my mother, training with my other brothers. Don't worry, he'll be fine. But you guys have to work together, because if you don't, you won't stand a chance against Sato. And don't take this threat lightly. If Sato is free, he will burn this world to nothing. Sato's heart is nothing but pure darkness. He doesn't want this world. He doesn't want this world to live after what we did to him, taking away his powers and letting him roam the earth like a human. But now that he's gained his original strength, he will wipe you all out and destroy the planet and go on and destroy others. So you all need to work together. As the 5 Kages looked at each other. I am in, said Tsunade. Well, if it's for Naruto, I am in as well. And to save the world, said Mei. The Raikage gritted his teeth. If this is on that destructive scale, then I am in as well. Me too, said Baki, representing for the sun, as they all turn to look at Oniki. As Oniki remembered what his granddaughter said about Naruto being a nice guy. Alright, I will help. But this doesn't mean that we're friends, he said. Huh, I will take it no other way, old man, said the Raikage. Go and inform your villages, and told them to train their heart out. Because in 5 years coming, if we don't win, the world will end. And with that, Michael vanished. As Tsunade and the others went to their villages, as they informed all the ninjas of their village, as all of the girls back at the Namikaze compound was worried about Naruto, as they all hated to not see him for 5 years. But they all knew that they have to get strong enough so they could take out this guy and Naruto will be safe. If they get strong enough, they won't have to worry. The Kyuubi was still back on Earth, as Yujito asked her how is she still here. Wasn't she supposed to be with Naruto if Naruto went off? As the Kyuubi did not understand it. She still had a link to Naruto, but she couldn't contact him. But she still feel like they were bonded. But she couldn't go where he is. But at least the both of them are okay, she being far from him. But she could train and let the others get stronger and train them to the fullest. She's out 100% now. And now that the peoples had bigger things on their mind, she won't be such a problem for them. As she fought Sato Soranzo before, and he didn't have his full power back then, and he was stronger than the Sage of Six Paths. If it wasn't for the light, this war would have already been over. But now Sato has his full power, and he will be out soon. So with that, everyone went off to train. Everyone went off to get stronger, as Itachi also trained Sasuke to his fullest ability. Itachi also coughed up blood one day as Sasuke rushed to get help from Tsunade. Tsunade was surprised that Itachi was back in the village, but she then got all of the information that Naruto found out, that Itachi was forced to do this by the village, and Tsunade was able to heal Itachi and bring him back to his glorious form, as Sasuke has been training his ass off to get stronger. As years fly past, the girls at home miss Naruto as they weren't able to see him at all. Meanwhile, Naruto was training as he was getting stronger. His appearance was also changing, as the stone around Sato started to break slowly. As the years pass, the seals get weaker and weaker as Sato's mind was recovering, as he was fully conscious. But what would 5 years look like for him? That would be nothing at all. He is an immortal. He has walked this earth for many eons, and he will break out of here and kill everyone on this earth just to make his mother suffer for what she did, just to make all of them see they all did him wrong. He was going to destroy and tear this entire solar system apart, and no one could stop him, he said to himself. The years went by pretty quickly. Even though the girls missed Naruto, they still focused hard on their training. Tsunade also retained the position as Hokage. Jiraiya also went back to Mount Miyaboku, as he never fully mastered Sage Mode. He always needed toads to use it, but now he wanted to completely master it. So we now time skip, as the 5 years are up. With Naruto, it has been 15 years, as Naruto has changed a lot. He was completely different, but he was still finishing up his last piece of training. Tsunade, Oniki, the Raikage, the new Kazekage Gaara and Mei were in the analysis room with Shikaku, As all of the ninjas were on the battlefield, the trees, everything in the forest was removed so everyone could fight at their fullest. As the group of ninjas, now combined as one unit, surrounded Sato, as the earth around him started to crack. As they could see Sato smiling, he was frozen but his face started to move as he was smiling. A bloodthirsty smile as Sato was ready to get out of here. Meanwhile, all of the girls at the Namikaze compound, they all have grown up. Yujito, Fu, Kasumi, all of them. Hana, all of them has grown in the 5 years. As they were back, a distance away with the Konoha forces, as they were all getting ready. As Yujito looked up, "Where are you, Naruto?" she said. Meanwhile, the barrier that was holding on to Sato started to break. "Everyone get into formation," said the leader of the first unit, as all of them readied themselves. The barrier then exploded as Sato emerged. He had his sword strapped to him same way. Sato then collapsed to his knees. Being stuck somewhere for 5 years really makes you tired even though I was frozen. It's kind of weird. When I see you brought something to make my blood get flowing. As Sato smirked. The ninjas then rushed forward as Sato remained still. As a group of them run through hand sign, as they slam their hand on the ground, and the ground beneath Sato started to suck him down as it breaks apart, as Sato was deep on the ground. Another set appear as they run through hand sign, as they start to pour water down there. As another set came with lightning, as they started to electrify the water, shocking up Sato. Another set then appear as they use their fire to heat up the water, boiling Sato alive. The Earth-style users then drop a giant boulder down on Sato in there, crushing everything as the whole collapsed on itself. "Well, that was it," said one of them, as they thought that Sato was dead. "We prepared for this for 5 years. This was a huge letdown." But the ground beneath them started to shake as they heard a dark laughter as the ground exploded and Sato emerged. As Sato drew his sword. Well, if you have been training for 5 years for that was a big letdown. Sato then felt something coming as he turned around. As Shikaku was there, Shikaku fired sand bullets at Sato as Sato jumped up into the air. Sato then turned around as he was sent flying by a hand, as it was Kurama, as she sent him flying back as Sato turned around as he was dropping through the sky, as he saw all of the tail beasts gathered, as they all were preparing a Biju bomb, as they all released at the same time. As Sato saw it coming and smiled, Sato drew for his sword as he pointed forward, as a white light came around his sword, as it struck the Biju bombs. But the bombs didn't explode as they started to be absorbed, as Sato sucked all of that power right into his sword. Sato then crashed down on the ground in a boom. As all of the tail beasts surrounded him, they all raised their tail and slammed it down on him, as there was a large boom on Sato. As they all waited, but the 9 of them was sent flying back by invisible force as they crashed down into the ground. As Sato flew out of the destruction. "You stupid, mindless beast. You think any of you can defeat me?" said Sato, as he raised his hand, as all of the power that he sucked from the Biju bomb, it came into his palm. "Now, have this back his head," as he released it, as it hit the ground with a boom, sending all of the tail beasts flying to all different directions. As all of the ninjas could see that the tail beasts were nothing to Sato. If he did them like that, how would they stand against him? Sato emerged on the battlefield after dealing with the tail beasts, as he had a smirk on his face. Well, it took you 5 years to get here. Let's see what you all have, as he rushed forward towards the ninjas. With Naruto slowly got up off the ground, as his appearance has changed a lot. His eyes, they were the most changed. He no longer had his blue eyes. They were just in the form of a Shinsei Nagan and could not change back, as he now has the ability to only use a Shinsei Nagan and use all other abilities that he has learned so far from the Sharingan, the San, every dojutsu that he copied. Naruto has gotten much taller, as right now he's 28 years old after being here for 15 years, but in the normal world it has only been 5 years. As Naruto looked at his hands, "I'm finally ready," he said, as Amara entered from out of the void. She just appeared out of light. "Yes, you are. It's time for you to go and face Sato." "Thank you for all your help," said Naruto. "Here," said Amara, as she handed Naruto a sword. It was a sword with a blue blade, black hilt, and it had a strap on it with the initial NU for Naruto Uzumaki, as the sword started sparkling in Naruto's hand. As Naruto smirked, "Now, send me back," he said. It was then that Amara signaled for her sons as they appear around Naruto. "Before you go, one last thing," she said, as all her sons raised their hand, as a white flow flew off of them and went into Naruto. As Naruto snapped his eyes open. "What did you just do?" he asked them. "Don't worry, it will come in handy," said Amara, as she snapped her finger and Naruto vanished. When Naruto finally opened back his eyes, he was back on Earth. He was in the field, as he could sense Sato and everyone fighting. He could feel everything from here. Naruto got to his feet as he disappeared. When Naruto arrived at the battlefield, most of the ninjas were dead. Sato was coated in blood. The 5 Kages were on the field, as they were bloody and battered. Tatsumi and Fu were standing as well. "We will hold you off until Naruto get here," as Sato quickly escalated things in a couple of minutes by wiping out a lot of the forces, and most of them were dead or badly injured. Fu looked at Sato as she was going through hand sign, but Sato appeared in front of her as he kicked her in the face, as Fu cried out in agonizing pain as she fell to the ground. As Tatsumi rushed over to Fu, "Time for the both of you to die. You really think that this Naruto can stop me?" Sato said as he brought down his sword. But his blade was grabbed, as everyone turned to see Naruto standing there. As Tatsumi smiled, "Naruto, is that you?" she said, as tears came at her eyes. "Don't worry, everything will be fine now." As Naruto had Sato's blade in his hand, he was holding on to the sharp blade. As Sato was now curious. It seems my mother helped you out. You regain your eyes. And also, you're a lot stronger. You're able to hold on to my blade." "Hey Sato, let's not do this here, okay?" said Naruto. "Don't pass your place, mortal. You're still nothing but an insignificant." But Sato couldn't get to finish that sentence, as Naruto grabbed him by the face and flew off with him. As Sato tried to break free from Naruto's hold, but he couldn't, as Naruto then threw him into the ground with a boom. Sato quickly regained his composure as he got up. "How is this possible?" said Sato. as Naruto landed on the ground. You have no idea what is possible now. Let's end this, said Naruto. Sato smirked. Just because you've gotten a little stronger doesn't mean you can beat me. The both of them rushed at each other with incredible speed as they slammed their fists together. Their fists created a ripple effect that tear through the land around them. As the both of them then rushed at each other again, as Naruto kicked Sato in the face. Naruto then fly up into the sky as he was now able to fly. He grabbed onto Sato's left hand and spin him around. As he released Sato down into the ground, a boom. Sato then released a bolt of lightning towards Naruto as Naruto released a blazing fire, cancelling out Sato's lightning. This isn't possible, said Sato. It doesn't matter if you have my mother's light. You still won't beat me. As Sato grabbed his sword and swinged at Naruto. As a force came out of it, Naruto brought up his sword as he blocked the attack. What? You blocked my swing? How is this even possible? Said Sato as he squeezed his fist. I told you, things have changed, Sato, and I won't allow you to do what you want. Sato rushed at Naruto as Naruto brought up his fist, but Sato blocked it as he hit Naruto in the stomach. He then grabbed Naruto by the collar as they started to fly straight up into the sky. As they went through Earth's atmosphere, as they were in space, as Sato threw Naruto in the moon with a boom. As pieces of the moon break apart, as they start their epic taijutsu battle in space, creating ripple effects that hit the Earth, making the Earth shake. As the both of them were going all out, as Sato was glowing with a dark aura, and Naruto had a white light around him, as they were slamming their fists together over and over, as ripple effects were coming down on the earth, shattering places, destroying buildings in villages. As Naruto grabbed Sato by the face and slammed him into the moon, as Naruto then raised his hand, as he created a ball of energy and slammed it into Sato's back, as Sato was sent right through the moon, splitting the moon in half. As the both of them keep it up and start to rip the place apart, the moon started to fall to the earth as Naruto realized that would be a devastating destruction if he don't stop it. As Naruto then held up his hand, as a glowing white light came around his hand, as he released a beam that wiped out the moon, turning it into nothing but sprinkles and debris. As Sato took this at his advantage, knowing that Naruto was distracted, he appeared beside Naruto and knocked Naruto in the back of the head. As this caused Naruto to be foggy for a little bit, as Sato then started to punch Naruto down, as he grabbed Naruto and threw Naruto into a new planet, as both of them appeared on the planet and started to beat each other down. As the both of them started to punch each other straight down into the earth core, as the planet couldn't keep up, as Naruto built a giant Rasengan that was bigger than the moon, as he launched it down on Sato, wiping out the earth core that they were on. As Sato saw it coming and started to fuse the darkness around his hands, as he shot a beam of darkness inside of it, but Naruto's Rasengan was destroying everything, as the planet that they were on started to shake, as Naruto fly out of the planet and it exploded with the Rasengan and Sato, as everything just blown away into space, debris, everything was flying. As Sato came out from the rubble, as he was huffing, well, I must say you have become strong. You're Naruto, right? Yeah. It doesn't matter what you say to me, Sato. I will have to kill you. Well, think about this, said Sato. Look how powerful you are right now. And look how powerful I am. The both of us can work together. Mother, she only gave you power so you can defeat me. Even though you're strong right now. Think about this. If you return back to Earth, no one will be there to ever test you for you to feel like you're truly in a battle again. But me and you can go on, and we can create this universe into our own images. We can run everything, wipe out solar systems, if you just work with me, Naruto. We can run everything. Naruto just smirked. I'm sorry, Sato, but I only have one goal, and that is to end your life. You hurt my friends, and I can't allow you to live. So let's end this. Back on Earth, Tsunade and the others were healing, as the Kyubis returned back to their human form, as they couldn't even maintain their form for so long after fighting Sato and he damaged them so badly. They then saw two meteors coming out of the sky. Wait, those are not meteors. They're Naruto and Sato. As Tatsumi rushed over there, as the both of them crashed. Tatsumi then saw the both of them bloodied and battered as she quickly rushed over to Naruto, as Sato got back to his feet. As Naruto got to his feet as well. It doesn't matter how strong you are, Uzumaki. I am still powerful. I am a god, and you're still a human, and you can't beat me. Sato then collapsed to one knee, as his body was really taking effect right now. As Naruto got up, white aura started to glow around him. Naruto held up his hand as he released a beam that sent Sato flying as he was flying through the forest. It was then that Naruto saw something coming down as it struck Sato down into the ground, creating a huge impact, as it was Itachi in his perfect Susanoo. Sasuke was in it as well, as Itachi brought out his sword and stabbed it down on Sato, but Sato grabbed the blade just before it impacted him, as Sato started to push, as Naruto jumped over there, as he had his sword in his hand, as Naruto brought it down. Before Sato could move, Naruto drove his sword through Sato's stomach, causing Sato to squeal out in pain. As Naruto saw Sato's sword, as Naruto picked it up, and the sword started shaking Naruto's hand, as all of the dark aroma that was around it started to leave the sword, and it turned white. As the sword started to hum, all of the 5 swords that Sato combined, they then break apart as they return back to normal. Water, fire, earth, wind, lightning, as they fell on the ground, as they started to glow. So, looks like you freed us, Uzumaki Naruto, said the fire sword, as Sato was on the ground writhing in pain and agony. Naruto pulled out his sword from Sato's gut. It's time that I end this, said Naruto, as Sato then exploded in rage, blowing back Naruto and Itachi and Sasuke as he got up. You think you can end me, boy? I already told you, I am a god. You are nothing but a mortal. That is where you're wrong, Sato. I can end you because I have friends. You, however, have no one. As Sato looked behind him to see the tailed beasts and the ninjas, when he turned around back, a solid fist smacked him right in the face as Naruto sent him flying. As the tailed beast started to hit him from side to side, all the tailed beasts charging a habitual bomb as they slammed it down on him, as all of the ninjas around him went through hand sign as they released their attacks at the same time, causing a giant explosion. Naruto then went up into the air as he told everyone to separate and get out of here, as they all started to run away. As Sato slowly opened his eyes as he looked up to see Naruto. Purgatory's son, Naruto said, as a small fireball formed in his hand, as it started to grow large, as it looked like the living sun. The heat from the fireball was melting the forest around, as everyone was running as fast as they could, getting out of there, as Naruto held on to the Purgatory Sun for a while, until it was time, as he waited that everyone clear the area. Now, take this, Naruto said, as he dropped the Purgatory Sun on Sato, as everything exploded, wiping out a giant section of the earth, as Sato's body was disintegrated inside of it. As Naruto started to drop down from the sky, it was then that Itachi flew up in his Susanoo and grabbed Naruto as they dropped to the ground. As Itachi placed Naruto down on the ground, as everyone rushed over, as Tatsumi grabbed Naruto as she curled his head on her lap, as Fu Yujitu and all of them were there, as Tsunade started to heal Naruto and his wounds, as Naruto slowly opened his eyes, as he saw all of his friends, as a big smile was on his face. Naruto then looked up as he saw the images of Amara and her sons, as they all had a smile on their faces. As Naruto then smiled back. "I'm glad you're okay," said Tasume. Naruto belly then rumbled. "Looks like I'm hungry," he said, as everyone started to laugh, as they found it really funny. But guys, I'm gonna be ending this episode right here. And yeah, this is the last time you'll be hearing that from this series. I hope you guys enjoyed this final episode. Thank you for watching and enjoying this, and thank you all for your help and your support. Meet me over in Anime King 2, where I'll be posting a new episode of What If Naruto the Sharingan and the Byakugan mix, and also a new episode of What If Naruto had 9 Genkai. But for now, I'm out. Peace.